Are rich people problems really problems? Many don't think so, since some of them just seem to be a little bit out of touch with reality. Hey guys, I'm your host Lauren, and today we're going to be counting down the top 10 celebrities who are called out for complaining about their rich people problems. Number 10, we have Kendall Jenner. Kendall Jenner is a star that is seemingly very out of touch with reality. Kendall attended an all-expense-paid trip to Dubai for the grand opening of the Hotel Atlantis earlier this year, and hosted her own after-party for her 818 liquor brand the same night. Though she was most likely looking to debut new outfits, post for photo ops, and promote her brand, many fans were way more focused on the conversation she was having with the other guests. Reportedly, this is the model's third time going to Dubai. In 2015, she celebrated New Year's Eve in the city, then visited again in 2016, but it looks like she wasn't a huge fan of her previous trips. During the grand opening, a lip reader spotted a conversation she was having and shared what they believe she was talking about. They shared that Kendall said, "This is my third time. The first 2 times were horrible, oh my god." Fans of course were outraged that she was seemingly complaining about a free trip in a beautiful place. One fan commented, "She really gives off a bad vibe." Another added, "So unlikable, the nerve." Though we know Kendall is used to a luxurious lifestyle, many just couldn't get over how out of touch she seems to be. One fan even commented, mocking the model by saying, "I wish I could afford a horrible experience from Dubai too." But this isn't the first time that Kendall has enraged a group of people with her rich people problems. In an interview with Love magazine, Kendall revealed that after being on the verge of a mental breakdown, she became super selective with the number of runway shows that she was willing to take on. She shared saying, "Since the beginning we've been super selective about what shows I would do. I was never one of those girls who would do like 30 shows a season, or what the F those girls do. More power to them." This comment outraged her fellow models, who took to social media to call her out. One model shared on her Instagram story saying, "Whatever the F those girls do is their very best to make their way up, and try to make some money so they can provide for themselves and for their families." Even going on to say, "Oh, and it's 70 shows a season by the way, and we are all very proud of every single one of those girls that did it." Another model shared a quote from the interview to her Instagram as well, adding, "This makes me so angry. So disrespectful to literally 99% of people in the industry. Yes, they had to work their way, please get in touch with the real world." A representative of Kendall claimed that this quote was taken out of context, explaining, "She was mid-thought. She realized a number of shows some models walk a season is closer to 80. The point was that it's their path and more power to them." However, this didn't stop people from believing she has no idea about how hard the modeling industry really is for those who did have to work their way up. Number 9, we have Ellen DeGeneres. While many were struggling during the pandemic, Ellen DeGeneres believed this was a good time to become relatable to her viewers, and it really backfired for the TV host. During an episode for Ellen's Home Edition show, she shared her thoughts during this time and many were confused. Ellen said, "This is like being in a jail. Mostly because I've been in the same clothes for 10 days and everyone here is gay." But considering her wealth, many viewers were angry at her attempt to understand what others were going through. One fan commented, "Ellen, you quarantining in your mansion in designer sweats is nothing like prison." Another added by saying, "This is not even funny. Her mansion is bigger than most county jails. She's eating food made by her staff and is being cared for. Please learn what you're joking about." One user was upset about her lack of sensitivity during this time, commenting that this is crazy insensitive, especially now that it's a terrifying time to be locked up. Along with this comment, as well as being accused as being one of the meanest people alive not too long ago, Ellen's track record isn't looking too great. Number 8, we have Kim Kardashian. During an episode of Keeping Up with the Kardashians, Kim was another celebrity complaining about some pretty out of touch things. In the episode, it shows Kim hiding in the bathroom to film a makeup tutorial before being interrupted by her kids. In a private interview, she vents about her struggles over her allegedly very chaotic life during the height of the pandemic. She shared in an interview saying, "We've been trying to figure out homeschooling and my kids can't see their friends or their cousins, so I've been doing every activity with them. I'm so used to working a lot and being away from my kids." She went on to explain, "I mean, I love spending this much time with them, but it's just been such a change, and right now with Kanye sick," adding how her kids won't leave her alone. While a few fans understood her frustration, others bashed the star for complaining at all. One user questioned, "Kim is complaining about having to raise her own kids during the And another added, "It's crazy that Kim has spent so little time with her kids, that this regular amount of time is a struggle for her. Looks like she's just another Kardashian who doesn't understand that her problems are rich people problems." Number 7, we have Jamie Lee Curtis. Jamie Lee Curtis is definitely not a fan of this nepo baby craze. The actress, who is the daughter of the stars Janet Leigh and Tony Curtis, believed that she has gotten to where she has by her own talent. She does understand, but still understanding that she is still a nepo baby. Taking Instagram, she explains how she's been a working actress since she was about 19 years old, writing that there's not a day in my professional life that goes by without me being reminded that I am the daughter of movie stars. The current conversation about nepo babies is just designed to try to diminish and hurt. Though Jamie has been known to be pretty down to earth, some didn't understand why she would be complaining as being regarded as a nepo baby. In her Instagram post, which now has limited comments, one user wrote, "No one is saying you didn't work hard or treat your jobs with respect. But the truth is that many talented people have had to work much harder and will never get the opportunities without this connection in Hollywood that the nepotism brings." Another added, "You'll always be our mother, but this take is not it." Number 6, we have Scheana Shay. Scheana Shay, the star from Vanderpump Rules, received quite a bit of backlash after her tone-deaf opinion on the pandemic during the height of isolation. After admitting she refused to isolate, complaining that she won't give up her life, many were shocked at the insensitivity and seemingly selfishness. Shay said at the time, "I will continue to live my life in Palm Springs with my friends and not live in complete isolation or fear. Simple as that. Call me ignorant, but I'm not going to stop living." But after being hit with an intense backlash, the star had to issue an apology, saying, "For those who expressed concern or viewed my remarks as insensitive, I had just returned from a work trip and wasn't fully updated on the pandemic. I now understand the severity of our current predicament. Please stay safe and wash your hands." She later added, "I am not the person who regularly watches the news. I do not go on social media to read the news, and it's also negative. I've never been above admitting I was wrong though, and I am thankful for the moments from people to trying to tear me down because I can learn from my mistakes and better myself." Number 5, we have the Imagine video. I'm sure we all remember the Imagine video, which came out in March of 2020, during the time Gal Gadot told her fans that she'd been feeling quite philosophical while in isolation, going on to say, "You know, this has infected the entire world, everyone, and it doesn't matter who you are, where you are from, we're all in this together." Gal got together with a star-studded group to create a cover for John Lennon's song Imagine, later said to be designed to boost morale, but instead it was labeled as completely out of touch. One Twitter user wrote at the time, "A load of millionaire singers and actors singing Imagine, no possessions, is not what I need at 8:55 a.m. Another added, "Honey, look, all the rich people are singing Imagine. Everything will be alright now, even though we both lost our jobs. This was so much better than money and not cringy at all." Gal has since expressed remorse for this video, saying, "It wasn't the right timing and it wasn't the right thing. It was in poor taste, but all pure intentions." Number 4, Salma Hayek. Many parents struggle with kids who are picky eaters through and through, but the complaints made by Salma are just next level rich people problems. She told the Times magazine once, "You have to work very hard to please them all. If you are making pizza, there is one who doesn't like cheese and another who doesn't like tomatoes. Our chef sometimes looks so downhearted, and he's always saying, 'Madame, what are we going to do?'" Clearly, this is not a relatable problem, and many agreed. Taking to Twitter, one user joked, "Rough times, pray for Selma," and another added saying, "My heart bleeds." I mean, at the end of the day, maybe she should have kept that problem to herself. Number 3, we have Chrissy Teigen. Okay, let's talk about Chrissy and her wild AirPod problem. Back in 2019, Chrissy tweeted, "My mom treats her AirPods like they are disposable. Buys a few a month. She says they would be easier to not lose if they had a cord." This sparked immediate backlash from fans, as this is clearly just a rich person problem, as many can't afford to keep buying new AirPods so freely. One user commented saying, "Reading this while I keep my thermostat turned off so I don't have to pay a higher utility bill." Another added, "I haven't eaten in 4 days, but go off." Realizing many weren't joking along with her post, Chrissy tweeted the next day saying, "Oh man, I haven't checked my mentions for a bit and I didn't realize how many people were so angry about this. It was meant as a joke and an exaggeration about how my mom doesn't realize her AirPods are without a cord headphones. But it came across as super tone deaf and icky. Though many seem to forgive the star, understanding that this was a joke, others didn't fully agree. With one fan writing, "If you know it comes off as tone deaf and icky, then why don't you just delete it?" Number 2, we have Orlando Bloom. Another star who is seemingly out of touch is Orlando Bloom and his daily routine that many thought was a joke. Describing his life with his then partner Katy Perry and daughter Daisy, he explains that he starts his day with 20 minutes of Buddhist chanting, sharing that he avoids his phone, saying how he doesn't want to be sucked into the black hole of social media. He later tells the Sunday Times, "I spent a lot of time dreaming about roles for myself and others and minorities and women. I'm trying to be the voice for everybody." This left many questioning when he really spends time with his kids or if he would just rather spend the day hiking. One Twitter user wrote, "Genuinely thought the Orlando Bloom interview in the Sunday Times was a spoof. Is it really not?" And another added, "It feels like an article that an AI would have written if it had been fed a lot of modern trendy diaries from celebrities." And at number 1, we have Gwyneth Paltrow. Gwyneth has been all over the news lately, and she is no stranger to sharing her rich people problems to the world. While chatting with Hailey Bieber on her YouTube series, Who's in My Bathroom, Gwyneth shared her opinions on the struggle of being a nepotism baby. She did acknowledge that people with famous parents do have better access to the industry, but she also claimed that these people will have to work twice as hard as the people with no connections. She said, "I really do feel that once your foot is in the door, what you got unfairly in, then you have to work twice as hard and be twice as good because people are ready to pull you down and say you don't belong here or you're only here because of your mom or dad." Social media users were not a fan of this nepo baby stance, with one writing, "Not sure work twice as hard and be twice as good applies to the goddaughter of Steven Spielberg." And another added, "What nepotism actually does is make you tone deaf all day every day." Well, that's all we have for you guys today. Let us know in the comments what rich people problem shocked you guys the most, and we'll see you in the next one.